Romina.
That's it? I would never hear you.
The thing is, I actually didn't want to find you. I was actually hoping to stay alone.
Such a jerk.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 interviews actors are ashamed of.
My wife said, well, if she hasn't made a statement, why would you?
For this list, we'll be looking at the times where performers showed regret for things they said or did while being interviewed on camera or in print. Which of these interviews made you cringe the most? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Joaquin Phoenix's Letterman appearance. In the mockumentary I'm Still Here, Joaquin Phoenix plays an exaggerated version of himself who's quitting acting to start rapping instead.
Phone has been ringing off the hook. The emails are out of control.
Two Lovers will be my last press stuff that I'll do, and I'm not acting anymore, and I'm doing this hip-hop record.
Before the movie was released, he tried to make the movie seem more real by appearing in character on David Letterman. Their exchange is extremely bizarre and uncomfortable to watch.
But you're not going to act anymore?
No.
Huh. Why is that?
I don't know.
Phoenix only momentarily breaks character when the interview wrapped up. After the movie was released, Phoenix returned to Letterman as his normal self. The actor said sorry to Letterman and others he might have offended.
And I assume that you would kind of know the difference between a character and a real person. But I apologize.
Phoenix was also apologetic for breaking character at all. While his actions helped gain publicity for the film, he didn't seem fully okay with how he presented himself. Number 9. Miles Teller's disparaging Divergent remarks.
Impressive, Stiff. Congrats.
Shut up.
What? Hey, you're famous now.
There was a time where it looked like the first entry in the Divergent series would start the next great young adult movie franchise. Unfortunately, it received mixed reviews and had to deal with remarks from one of the stars.
Perhaps the answer lies in the corrupted ideal of an entire faction, the theft of resources, the general incompetence.
During an interview with W Magazine, Miles Teller called out his Divergent role as boring and seemed to imply he did it for a paycheck. He later insisted that his harsh-sounding words were misunderstood and that he fully supported the film. Although Teller still owns his statements about the movie, when they're put in the proper context, he definitely wished it didn't sound like he hated his filming experience.
And that's why you left? Is it something I said?
Number 8. Terry Crews comments on a Gabrielle Union story.
I can't speak on behalf of any racism comments. That was never my experience on America's Got Talent. In fact, it was the most diverse place I have ever been in my 20 years of entertainment.
During America's Got Talent's 14th season, Gabrielle Union became a judge while Terry Crews was chosen to host. But the actress wasn't asked to return after speaking out about troubling events and alleged racist incidents that happened behind the scenes of the production. When Terry Crews talked about her negative experiences, he said diversity was championed and seemed to question the source of the claims.
If it's coming from an unnamed source, because Gabrielle Union has not made any statement to this day about any of these allegations publicly. Yeah. So
Have you spoken to her?
I have not.
His words were met with heavy criticism across social media because it didn't seem he'd taken Union's allegations seriously. In the wake of the controversial interview, Crews made a public apology and promised to support her going forward.
I'm about labor, treating employees fairly. Nobody's asking for anything special.
Number 7. Matt Damon makes a screenwriter look bad.
I'm sitting in my office. I doubt that. And why would you doubt that?
If you were in your office right now, we'd be having this conversation face to face.
Matt Damon didn't initially seem too happy with his third go-around as Jason Bourne. During an interview with GQ, he called out writer Tony Gilroy's first draft script for the Bourne Ultimatum. Damon wasn't shy about saying that he essentially thought it was a mess and called it a, quote, career ender. After attacking the screenplay, the actor later reported that he thought Gilroy was a great writer. He also showed a lot of regret for speaking about it publicly in the first place.
They're gonna come for you again. You're gonna have to run now.
What makes this debacle more ironic is that Bourne Ultimatum went on to become the best reviewed movie in the franchise to date. The comments Damon now regrets making suggest he had a completely different take on the origins of this acclaimed action movie.
And now what? Someone started all of this. And I'm gonna find them.
Number 6. Jesse Eisenberg's jokes don't make everybody laugh.
So Freeman plays a magic debunker.
Freeman? Who are you? Yeah. Freeman? Yeah. What, are you on a baseball team with him?
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine.
Okay.
As soon as Eisenberg's interview with Romina Puga begins, he decides to crack a joke at her expense. Although the mood seems light at first, their conversation slowly becomes more uncomfortable over time. Since Eisenberg was promoting Now You See Me, he does a quick magic trick for Puga. While preparing for it, he compares her unfavorably to a comedian.
Do you know the comedian Carrot Top?
Yes, horrible.
Well, you were like the Carrot Top of interviewers.
Eisenberg follows the insult with more jabs at her while coming off as a little cocky and uncooperative. After this interview, Puga said the conversation was, quote, humiliating to sit through. Although Eisenberg said he meant no harm, the negative backlash he received probably made him wish he could make this interview disappear.
I'm gonna go cry now.
No, don't cry now. Cry after the interview's over, because otherwise I'll look like I'm responsible for it.
Number 5. Wilmer Valderrama gives very explicit details. On that 70s show, Wilmer Valderrama's Fez often made at least one comment about a woman per episode that was mature, a little creepy, or both.
Hey there, Fez.
Hillary.
I saved you a bite of my cinnamon muffin.
Oh, what a coincidence. I saved you a bite of my cinnamon bun.
Life eventually imitated art in one Howard Stern interview. While speaking with the radio host, Wilmer gave extremely explicit details about his physical relationship with Mandy Moore. He also claimed to have been the first person she'd ever been with.
Because he goes on Howard Stern and lies to Howard and tells Howard that he took Mandy's virginity.
Moore called Valderrama out for lying about that and the other mature comments he made in the interview. The duo eventually talked things out privately, and according to Howard Stern, Valderrama asked if the host could stop drawing attention to the incident.
I love him, and I still love him, and he's a very good friend, and that's why I was so shocked by it, because not only was it a fib, but it was so unlike him, it was so uncharacteristic.
Number 4. Vin Diesel's inappropriate interview. While promoting XXX, Return of Xander Cage, star Vin Diesel was giving a legitimately interesting overview of his career. All of a sudden, the conversation took a hard left when he started hitting on interviewer Carol Morera.
But Tom Hanks was the first one, and God, you're so beautiful. God, she's so beautiful, man. Am I right or wrong? Look at her.
It's incredibly cringeworthy to watch her try to get the interview back on track while he keeps commenting on her appearance. And even though Morera manages to put the focus back on his career, he gets unprofessional once again.
No, I can't do this interview. Look at her. Does anyone say this? Guys, what's wrong? Am I the only one that's saying it? Look at her.
After the interview was posted, Diesel called attention to his bad behavior and issued a full apology. It was just unfortunate that Morera was even put into that uncomfortable position with him at all.
It's like you can't even do an interview with her because you're just like, da 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 da. Right or wrong? Oh my God, guys, someone save me.
Number 3. Gary Oldman's disappointing discourse. Many people in and out of Hollywood wrote Mel Gibson off after he made offensive and hateful comments towards Jewish people. Years after he made those statements, Gary Oldman weighed in on the situation.
I don't get political points for being an idealist. I have to do the best I can with what I have.
While Oldman was discussing his issues with certain aspects of political correctness, he referenced an offensive stereotype aimed at Jewish people. The actor's statement got him into hot water with the Anti-Defamation League. After the organization spoke out, Oldman wrote an extensive apology for his words. He reiterated that he carried no hatred towards Jewish people. But whatever message the actor was trying to get across about Gibson was lost underneath offensive language.
I know you tried to warn me. I'm sorry.
Number 2. Arrested Development cast members criticized their interview.
And she was surprised that her family didn't show up.
So this is what my children think of me.
After several serious allegations were brought against Jeffrey Tambor for bad on-set behavior, a story resurfaced where he allegedly screamed at the late, great Jessica Walters. When this topic was brought up during an Arrested Development interview, a couple co-stars weighed in. Jason Bateman's responses sounded like he was making excuses for Tambor's outburst. Other cast members present also seemed to downplay the incident. After the interview was published, Bateman issued a massive apology to Walters for what he said. Tony Hale also apologized for not being more vocal in his support for Jessica. Both actors made it clear after the interview that they should have spoken more about Tamber's unacceptable behavior.
No, Ma, you're great.
Crazy talk.
You're a fantastic mother.
Oh,
we do. We really love you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Liam Neeson regrets racially insensitive remarks.
And it just caught people off guard how you responded when you were asked about revenge, and you want to explain what you said?
When Liam Neeson was getting the word out about Cold Pursuit, a movie about renegade justice, he talked about a dark vigilante story from his life. Years ago, a friend told him a black man committed a horrible crime against her. Neeson then decided to go into certain neighborhoods in the hopes a black person would attack him so he could retaliate.
Looking to be set upon so that I could unleash physical violence.
His grim tale shocked and offended many people. As Neeson made several huge apologies, the movie studio decided not to do the red carpet for the then upcoming release of Cold Pursuit. The actor went on to emphasize that he acknowledged what he did was wrong and got help. Even after his apologies, some never looked at Neeson the same way again.
You admitted this.
Yes.
This isn't a gotcha. This isn't like, oh.
Yes.
So I give you credit there, but also having to acknowledge that the hurt.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.